We're actually going to start in child's pose. So come up on your mats. I suggest, but it's very personal, to have the knees a little wider apart. It depends very much on your low back situation, but toes sort of touching, knees a little spread. You can definitely have them together. That works, right? You fold forwards, but there's a little more space for your kind of torso body to get closer to the floor when you've got them apart. See what it feels like. Place your forehead on the mat and reach your arms forward, but then softly place your forearms on the floor so that you get support from that area. Immediately become aware of breathing into the back ribs. So it's almost like you could challenge yourself to see how much air you can kind of just breathe into the spaces in the back of the body. And it's really tough because actually these ribs, especially in the upper back, just aren't they feel quite stuck. I mean, they literally feel sticky to me. I'd love to imagine that I was in the studio and I could come up and place my hand just in the center of your shoulder blades. And then I would ask you to breathe into my hand. That's the feeling I want you to have, that you are trying to press your ribs up and outwards. And then as you exhale, just feel for the softness. So this sensation that you get to create a little more space in your physical body. Let the hips feel heavy. Try not to grip around the hip flexors. Let the butt kind of weigh itself downwards. It wants to go in that direction. Just let it go. Let the belly go. No need to hold that in. Just let it all hang out. And then notice your jawline and your mouth and just soften through that area too. I'd like you to take 5 more breaths on your own and just feel around. Be curious about where you could get that breath to go. Take the grounding and the support from all the areas of contact you're making with the earth. Do sigh it out if that feels good. Feel more release around the jaw. Last breath, whichever one you're on, take it deep and press it right through the back of the body. And do give yourself that sigh out. And then very slowly make a little more press come through the forearms and the hands and start to push the floor away as you walk your torso back up to a straighter position. Bring your knees together if that feels okay and kneel up. If it's a little intense, it's hard if you don't have the props available. You could stick something underneath your butt between your heels. If you're really in agony on your heels, just sit up. Let's just do a round of shoulder shrugs. Take a really big breath in. Hold the breath, shrug your shoulders straight up to ears. And as you exhale, squeeze the tops of your shoulder blades together and dredge downwards just across the area you were ballooning with your breath. Roll it out. Take a big breath in, shoulders relaxed. Now feel for particularly squeezing the midpoints of shoulder blades together. Keep them pressed towards each other as you move downwards. Chin stays level with the floor. Palms up, elbows bent, big breath. Widen the ribs. As you exhale, squeeze low tips of shoulder blades together. Feel like the elbows draw back and then the tiny movement downwards, moving shoulders away from earlobes. And then roll it out. Bring your hands forward, you're in tabletop. Neutral spine, a little tone through the belly. Take an inhale, lower the belly down. As you do this, slightly stick your butt out behind you, lift your chest. Exhale, press very firmly through the abdominals, pushing your belly button upwards, tuck tailbone, chin dips. Do that again. Inhale, lower down. Feel like you expand into your breath. And as you exhale, press the floor away from you, lift into your armpits, scoop everything out. 2 more. Inhale, lower down. Make a connection between the tops of your feet on the mat. As you exhale, almost press your shins into the floor, pushing everything upwards. Last one. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press all the way up. Doming out, feel for the low back, mid back, and upper back kind of opening up. And then come back to completely neutral. Let's do some diagonal lifts. Put some little more weight into your right hand. Lift your left hand straight up forwards. Same with the right leg. Reach it behind you as you press into the left shin. Hold for a moment, neutralizing yourself. So pull your belly button up, but also engage your right butt cheek and lift your right leg a little higher. Neck is soft. And then slowly place the hand down, place the knee down. Let's do the other side. Right arm reaches, left leg stretches behind you. Stabilize yourself. Lower slightly the left hip, pull the belly button up. Glute engages, don't stop breathing. There's a firm press through your right shin. Neck is soft. And then bring your hand back down. Come back to center. Let's just do a wrist stretch here. Pick up your whole hand and turn the fingers so they point towards your knees. This feels a little weird. And place the top of your hand on the mat. And then do the same with the other. To do this, I'd suggest you hinge your butt back so there's no weight really initially on the top of your hands. So when you look down, you can see the underside of your palms. Listen up, just start to press a little more weight through the tops of the hands and see where you get to. My elbows are a little bent because it feels weird, right? Spread the fingers apart. If you want to go deeper, straighten the arms a little more, press more weight through the top of the hands. You'll feel it. This is a really good wrist stretch, even though it feels a little unstable. Rock your bottom back and then shake your hands out. I can't really describe it any better. Come back the other way. Grab a handful of mat. Let's do some diagonal ab work. Lift your left arm, lift your right leg. Spread everything apart. Engage glutes. As you exhale, draw knee towards elbow, underside of tummy. Exhale out. Inhale, lengthen. Feel for your butt engaging. Exhale, draw left knee to left elbow to right knee. Squeeze up through the midline. 2 more. Inhale, extend. Feel the press through the heel. Exhale, draw them together. Dome out through the upper mid back, pressing the belly button through the roof. Inhale, last one. Extend. Keep it steady. Exhale, draw in. Core working, suck it up, and then release. Hands back to mat. Stabilize yourself, take a breath. Let's do the other side. Right arm reaches forward, left leg behind you. Feel for the left glute squeezing inwards. As you inhale, reach. As you exhale, draw elbow to meet knee under chest. Inhale, extend outwards, spread the fingers. Exhale, knee and elbow meet, squeeze upwards. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw elbow and knee together. Inhale, reach away, last one. Exhale, squeeze it up. Release the hand, release the knee, pause. Give your hips a little wiggle out. Roll them back behind you. Feel like you're undulating around the figure of 8. And then keep working through that. What feels good, right? What feels like you release? Bring your forearms to the mat. Let's do dolphin with the hands clasped. Stack your elbows under shoulders. Grab a handful of bicep with your hands, reset. The hands are clasped, so you've got a little more support. Feel the edges of the forearms press downwards. Take an inhale into mid-upper back. Curl the toes, straighten the legs, squeeze up. Shake out the back of your head. Really notice that you're propelling your butt upwards away from the floor, and you're engaging this breath which lifts your sit bones a little higher. So every inhale, feel like you pick up the whole of your rib cage and lift it out of the shoulder girdle. A little more squeeze through the inner thighs. Press your feet actively downwards. Shake out the head, yes, no. Feel for that scoop in the belly. We worked a little bit with that through those cat-cows and also that ab work. Engage it. Don't let it now just not be part of the, the complement of things you've got to use in your pose. 2 more breaths. Last breath. And then very slowly come all the way back down. Tuck your feet underneath you, cross them, sit back on your feet, and then roll yourself onto your bottom, and let's come into knee pile. So both legs straight out in front of you. Take your left leg and hook it on top of your right leg. You can stay like this, half knee pile, or bring the other leg underneath you. Your bottom is kind of sticking to the mat. Let's do a little side bend here. Take your left hand to the side of your body. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Lift upwards and then wrap across. So you're in full side bend. I've started doing this a little bit more now. This is like, I normally do the other side with this leg on top, but actually, I'll let you into a secret. When you do it this way around with left knee on top, right arm reaching, it's a little more intense in the hip, which is quite good. Take a breath, spread the ribs on the left side of the body, but also the right side of the body. You feel them. Let the head feel soft. Feel like someone's reaching your fingers away from you, pulling maybe on the arm. And then float. Don't change anything in the torso. This right hand to hover. Roll the shoulder, press down and away. Fingertips move away from the head of the shoulder as you let the head hang. More breaths. Take a breath here that lifts the belly button away from pubic bone, extending the front body. As you exhale, just let both shoulder blades move away from the earlobes, right? So they go down. Separate the teeth. Take an inhale, use your right hand to draw you up. Cup side of left cheek with left hand. Lift your own head up. Pick up your left foot wherever it is and place it so it's more flat on the ground. So you're in a knee up situation. The legs either tucked under, it could be extended. Let's do a twist. Take an inhale, reach the right arm up. Hug the top of that knee. Place your left hand behind you and push out of your back body so you lengthen. Option to also place the elbow behind the knee, full Matsyasana. It's completely your choice, right? Take a lengthening breath, taking ribs up away from hips. And then the shoulder blade, this left shoulder blade softens downwards as you rotate. Your neck is not busy. Just notice where you find space between the ribs. And ground yourself down through your butt. Inhale, come back, de-rotate yourself. Take both legs out in front of you, give them a little shake. Pick up your right leg, hook it on top of left extended leg, or tuck that left leg underneath you for full knee palm. Right hand to side of hip, take an inhale, left arm reaches. Press up for length. Feel the edges of the feet turn on and then wrap across. Shoulders, make sure, especially that right shoulder gets a little bit hunchy. Slide it down. Lasso the top arm a bit and then reach. You feel the space, right? It's like you pick up some additional space around the waistline and armpit. And then you need to breathe and you need to open your breath to what's possible. Make sure the jaw and the neck are soft. Feel for allowing the left hip socket to soften. On your next inhale, float your left arm to hover. Keep everything else where it is. Shoulder rolls, press fingers down and away. Reach your breath into the side of your neckline. Maybe slightly weight the back of your head so you take it behind you a little bit. It feels like that gets into the neck a bit more. Inhale, draw yourself up, don't rush it. Right hand cups head, lift it up. Take your right foot, place it on the mat, lifting the knee. Front leg extended or tucked under. This time the left arm reaches. Wrap it around the knee or place the elbow behind, opening the palm. Your other hand is a little strut. It kind of presses into the floor and lifts you out of your mid-ribs. Take a long breath in, lifting front body upwards. Puff your chest almost. As you exhale, slide your right shoulder blade behind you, rotate, but without the neck. Feel for pressing the right foot into the mat and lifting out of your sit bones. Breathing through the twist, right through the other side of it. And then inhale, de-rotate. Take your legs out in front of you, give them a little shake. Let's come and lie down. We're going to do my Friday abs, I've decided to call them. You'll need a cork block. We're just going to do the bottom level today. You're going to place the block, the lowest possible side under your sacrum, your little bony triangle. So it's like a little uplift. Have your arms, hands very soft to the side of your body. Feel like your shoulder blades are really relaxed. Pick your feet up off the floor, stack knees over hips. Feet are relatively active. I'd like you to flex your feet gently, nothing too severe. Take a really big breath in. As you exhale, pigeon your left foot and lower your left heel to dip it to the outside edge of your mat, pulling your belly down through the block. Inhale very slowly, knee comes back to stack over the hip. Flexing pigeon right foot. As you exhale, lower the right heel down. Feel like it just taps the floor, pulling belly down, and then inhale, draw it all the way back to center. Frog. As you exhale, separate your thighs apart. Everything is at right angles and flexed. Open your legs. Take an inhale with your legs wide, big breath. So you exhale, curl your pubic bone to belly button, reach the inner thighs away from the hips, pull belly down. Let the neck soften. As you inhale, squeeze your inner thighs together as if you're trying to crush something between them. Exhale, pigeon left foot, lower left heel down, pull belly through the block. Inhale, slowly bring the left knee back to stack. Flex pigeon right foot. As you exhale, lower the right heel down slowly. The faster you do it, the more you're cheating, right? If you want to do the work, slow it down. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, widen the legs, frog. Press the belly down. Take an additional inhale with the legs apart. Feel for breathing in. So you exhale, curl pubic bone to belly button, flatten sacrum to block. Reach through the inner thigh line, pull belly down. Inhale, squeeze your inner thighs back together. Take the legs straight, directly up. They're still flex the feet a little bit. Leg dips, take an inhale. As you exhale, lower slowly, left heel all the way down to the ground, pushing your belly through the block. Inhale, slowly engage core to lift the leg up. Try to not just use your hip flexors. Slightly pigeon right foot as you exhale, slowly lower with a long leg all the way down. Pull the belly down, flattening low back to block. Inhale, slowly draw it up. Feel that contraction through your abdominals. Exhale, straddle wide, flaunt the feet, spread your legs apart. Reach through the balls of the feet, pause here. Take an inhale. So you exhale, curl pubic bone to belly button, pull the belly down, reach through the inner thigh line, spreading the legs apart. Inhale, squeeze inner thighs, draw the legs together. One more round. As you exhale, flex left foot, pigeon it, lower the whole leg to tap gently the outside edge of left mat. Pull belly down. As you inhale and lift the leg back up, you're still engaging your core. Flex and pigeon right foot. Exhale, lower the whole leg down. Heel dips to outside edge of mat. Inhale, contract the belly. Lift the leg back up slowly, no rushing. Exhale, straddle the legs wide. Spread and flaunt the toes. Reach through the inner line of the leg. Take an additional inhale with the legs apart. So you exhale, curl pubic bone to belly button. Reach through the inner thigh line. And then inhale, squeeze your inner thighs together really slowly. Amazing. Bring the feet back down to the ground. Press through the grounding points of your feet. Lift your bottom off the block. Move the block to one side. And then just come down again to make sure your feet are in the right position for bridge. Tuck them towards the buttocks, stroke the backs of the heels, reset hands. Take a long breath in, press again through the feet, lift your hips up, really up, like you're counterposing to your abs. Lengthen your breath from pubic bone to sternum. So now it's the legs. I want you to really engage with the underside of your butt. Plug the sit bones to the top of the hamstrings and press through your front thighs. And while you're doing all of that, keep your breaths really long and steady. Feel for a lift in the space between the shoulder blades, like you're opening your upper back towards the ceiling. 3 more breaths. Steady yourself with these breaths. A little more drive down through the feet. A little more glutes activity. Final inhale, lift, tuck tailbone. As you exhale, slowly lower, top back, mid back, low back, all the way to the floor. When you get here, take your feet as wide as the mat. Let's windmill the legs. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower both knees to the right, pressing particularly your left thigh away from the hip. Inhale back to center. Exhale, both knees roll to the left. Come onto edges of feet. Press through the right front of thigh, opening the hip socket. Inhale back to center. Windmill legs to the right, lower them. Knees come down, press through the front left thigh. Inhale back. Exhale, lower to the left. Feel for reaching through the side of your waist. Come back to center. Roll onto your right side slowly, don't rush it, and press yourself up to seated with a relaxed neck. Come back onto all fours. Let's do Dolphin Palms Up. You'll need a block. Place the block at the front edge of the mat. Pick up each forearm individually, roll it so that the palm is up, and place the little finger line to the edge of the block. Check that your elbows are stacked under shoulders, and then look at your hands. I'd like you to spread the fingers apart and roll your thumbs towards the outside edge of the mat. Take an inhale, dome into upper back. Curl toes, straighten the legs. Dolphin on the top of the forearms. Press those forearms into the floor. Lift out of your shoulders. Engage a huge amount of core. Let's not forget about it. Shake out the head, yes, no. Become aware of the situation with your thumbs. What are they doing? Don't let them claw together. Spread them open. Feel like you're desperately trying to touch the mat. Keep lifting your breath into the ribs and shooting those ribs up towards the butt. So you lift out of the heaviness of the pose. You do that yourself. Very slowly lower the knees. Move the block to one side. Hands turn around. Come into down dog. Feel how spacious your hands feel when they're firmly planted on the mat. Grab a handful of that mat. Start to walk your feet towards your hands slowly. Soften through the knees. Let the inhale lengthen the belly. And then drape it across your thighs and just hang out here for a moment. Grab opposite hand to elbow and sway side to side. Become more aware of your feet and what they feel as they press downwards. How stable they are. Shake out the head. Let the hands hang. Soften the knees again. Place your hands on the front of your thighs. Traction downwards as you lift yourself up to straight. Amazing. Come and stand at the front of your mats for sun salutations. Get some additional padding for your knees if that's helpful. If you've got music on, please turn it on and have a block near the front of your mat. Just stand in Tadasana, mountain pose, feet slightly separated. Rock gently onto the front of the foot, the ball of the foot, and then lower back down. It's like you roll from tiptoe to heel. I really want you to get a sense as you do suns of being really grounded and centered and taking energy up from the earth. I know that sounds a little woo-woo, I know. It feels really good, especially if you're outside. I really envy you. That's a brilliant place to connect to the earth. Take an inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, hang down. Lunge, left leg steps back, lower the knee. Take a breath in, extend your arms skywards, wrap the shoulders. Exhale, hands float down, step back into plank. Look at your hands, they're also connected to the ground. Push through them, inhale. As you exhale, knees lower, tuck tailbone, chest lowers. One smooth move. Low cobra, hands forward as shoulders. As you inhale, squeeze shoulder blades together. Exhale, down dog. Left leg steps forward, low lunge, right knee down. Take a big breath in, feel the top of your right shin push through the mat, engaging right buttock. Exhale, float to forward fold. Here are your steady feet. You're going to press through them. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go again. Inhale, telescope ribs. Forward fold, exhale, loosen the jaw. Right leg lunges, step the knee back, lower it, take a breath in. A little more extension through side ribs. Exhale, hands to mat, plank, step back. Take a steady breath in plank, pushing the floor away. As you exhale, knees lower, chest lowers, engage your core. Inhale, low cobra. Lengthen the inner line of the legs. Feel for lifting the chest. Exhale, more length as you drag yourself forward. Reset hands, down dog. Lunge, right leg forwards, left knee down. Take a breath, lift up. Wrap your shoulders. Feel like there's a little softness around the shoulder blades. Float to forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, root to rise. Steady through those legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more rounds. I'd like you to do them on your own, at your own pace, really feeling that sense of being centered and connected. So inhale, left leg goes back, your left, left, right, right. You do, in fact, what you want to do. If you get mixed up and confused, who cares? Take agency of your own suns and really enjoy them. Notice your breath, don't lose it. Make it more powerful. Get your Ujjayi breathing roaring through you. So each move has an inhale or an exhale. If you need to take an additional breath at a certain point, do that. That works, right? You want to stay in the lunge, 2 breaths, take it. There's always bits of the sun that appeal to us more than others. Remember to engage your core. Keep it active as you work through. It's always a bonus. And then when you've done your 2 rounds and there's absolutely no rush, stand at Tadasana, the front of the mat. Really notice your feet, your grounding points, and press your thumbs to your sternum. And close your eyes. Sam, are you okay? Is your knee hurting? Let's do a flow sequence. Take an inhale, come into chair pose. Sink the bottom low, engage your butt. As you exhale, do a deep forward fold, hang down. Inhale, halfway lift, long back, lengthen. Exhale, step or hop into planks. Take a really big breath here, scoop the belly. As you exhale, your knees lower, your chest lowers, modified chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra, lift and lengthen. As you exhale, lower your whole tummy back to the floor for boat with shoulder shrugs. Listen up, take your hands into goddess, goalpost formation. Look at the floor, take an inhale here. Engage pelvis, scooping pubic bone to belly button. As you exhale, lift your feet off the floor, lift your hands and arms off the floor. Take another breath in. Exhale, it feels like the last bit of shoulder shrug. Squeeze the low tips of shoulder blades together. Feet reach away. Inhale, breathe into upper back. Exhale, squeeze low points of shoulder blades together. Elbows slightly squeezed down. Inhale, last one, big breath. Exhale, lift up through the front of the belly. Shake out the head. Hands under shoulders. Curl your toes, down dog.
Pause in down dog. Spread your fingers a little further apart from each other and wrap elbows. Shake out the head. Put weight into your right foot. Inhale, left leg raises straight up. One-legged down dog. Feel for pressing through the big toe pad. Exhale, knee to chest. Scoop it towards the chest as you hinge into high plank. Pause. Inhale, left leg raises straight back up again. We're going to do 3 of these. Exhale, left knee to chest. Suck it up. The same sensation of lifting through the mid-low belly. Inhale, left leg raises. Send it to the ceiling. Exhale, knee to chest. Scoop it out. And then take your left leg all the way back up. This time as you float the leg between your hands, you're going to place it there for a high lunge. So if you need to use your hand to help it there, do that. Hop right foot to edge of mat. Inhale, lift up. Arms, fingertips, reach to ceiling, wrap it out. Press energy through the front right thigh as you push your right foot towards the ground. Breathe, right? Notice the space between your shoulder blades. Take a breath into it. And then as you exhale, tuck your right buttock underneath you. One more breath. Float your right hand to inner edge of left foot for easy twisting lunge. On your inhale, reach the left arm to the ceiling, rotating yourself to the left. Let the head soften. Press both feet apart from each other on the mat, like you're ripping the mat in half. Take an inhale, lift into your right armpit, roll your left shoulder blade behind you. No drishti, neck is soft. Left hand floats back to the floor. Step back into down dog. Take a breath in down dog. Bend your elbows. Turbo dog is an option. Press the eyes of the elbows towards each other. Lift up through the belly. Shake out the head. 2 more breaths. Turbo dog or down dog, whatever you've chosen, breathe widely. Straighten the arms if they were bent. We're all in down dog. Step your left foot to front of mat for warrior 1. Front foot straight, back foot turned out. As you inhale, rise up. Set yourself up for this. Feel that your right hip is pulling forwards, left hip back. And then press again through the outside edge of your, it's like your little right toe is pushing to the floor. Humble warrior, arms behind you, clasp. Take a breath, chest lifts. As you exhale, forward fold, hinging the long length of your torso to the inner line of the left thigh. Pause a moment, more breath, more length through the belly. And then as you exhale, let the head hang. Clasped hands reach directly up. Breathe into the upper back. A lot of work going on in the hip here. Press more through the right leg. It's your anchor. Take the support it offers. Liven it up. That right quad could work a lot harder. Hands release, lounge lunge. Listen up. Lower the right knee to the mat and put the top of the right foot flat to the mat. You might actually walk the right knee further away from you. So you're in a really long lunge position. Take your right hand off the top diagonal corner of the mat and start to lengthen through the right side of body as you drape it towards the floor. So this feels odd, right? This is a bit of a Marmite pose, but it's so good for us. Let your right shoulder shrug up to ear. Put a micro bend in the right elbow. Left arm hugs generously the left thigh, and you let your head soften. Think about what the stretch is for. It's a side body stretch. Feel like your right leg is being pulled down the mat as you drape your right side ribs towards the armpit. The hip begins to feel heavy, soften your breath. Press actively through the left foot. So you also liven up your piriformis. You'll feel it in the left butt cheek, right? Slowly press yourself out of this. Very gently bring yourself back into a low lunge position. So you might need some padding under the right knee. Let's do twisting lunge. Inhale, right arm reaches, make a fist. Turn and rotate towards the left thigh. So I'd like you to hook the right elbow on top of the left thigh. Pause a moment. Lengthen the right side ribs, rotate. And then sweep the left hand to clasp the fist. Push the two together, open your chest to the left side. Let the head go. Stability here, right? Feel how grounded you need to be for this pose to work. If you're wobbling, take the left foot wider. Press the right shin into the mat. If you're really wobbly, come onto the ball of the right foot. That's not a cheat, it's just more support. Take an inhale, lift your left ribs and right ribs away from the hips. And then lean back like you don't want to be near your left thigh. You're allergic to it. You're coming away from it. Come out of this really slowly. Place your hands down on the mat and step into standing splits. What we're going to do is come onto the ball of the back right foot and launch ourselves directly up, pressing through the left standing leg. Right leg raises up, chest, torso draped downwards, hang the head. Feel for breathing from the tip of your left toe to the tip of your right toe, right through the body. If you'd like to practice your balancing, take one hand off the floor, maybe two. Maybe you take both hands in prayer behind the left calf. Soften the neck, reach through the leg that's extended, the right leg. And then fingers float back to earth. Let the right leg lower and join the left leg at the front of the mat. So you'll be effectively in a forward fold. Soften the knees. Hang down a moment, let the belly soften. Look at your feet, your grounding points. Press into them and your thighs and roll up slowly to standing. Ooh, nice. When you get to standing, put a lot of weight in your left foot for tree pose. Pick your right foot up with your right hand and plug it to the inner line of your left thigh. If that's a little too much, press the foot to the inner calf. So you're either going to look like this or this. Maybe you're here, right? Balance is a combination of lots of things, but you definitely need your breath. Also, this foot that's plugged into the inner left thigh is really pushing into that thigh, and the thigh is pushing back into the foot, otherwise it will slide down. Externally rotate the right hip by pressing the knee outwards. Hands at prayer, breathe. You need a drishti now, gaze point. Solid through that left standing leg. Maybe you reach the arms up and you grow your tree. If your balance is off this morning, who cares? Fall in and out, keep trying. Slow your breath down. Very slowly. Ooh. Come out of it elegantly. You're back to standing. Take your feet hip distance apart. Chair pose, sink down low. Squeeze the butt cheeks underneath you, reach the arms away. Take a breath. Twisting chair, hands to heart center. As you exhale, twist to the left, hooking your right elbow on top of left thigh. Press your prayer hands together, rotate, open. Keep engaging your press down through your active feet and notice your knees. They mustn't shear apart too much. Keep drawing the right hip back. like to butterfly open the arms, spreading your wings, lift them and lengthen them, let the neck soften. Huge breaths. And then release, come out of this slowly. Come back into a forward fold and straighten your legs. You'll need a block. Please have a block handy. I'd like you to grab a block in the right hand and place it forwards in front of you. Put weight into your left foot and reach your right leg straight up to the ceiling. But then have it at hip height. Sorry, I didn't explain that very well. We're in, it's almost warrior three. So the right hand is stacked under right shoulder. Right leg lifted up. We did this earlier, right? In those diagonal lifts. Squeeze the butt cheek. Chest facing the floor. Moving into twisting half moon. Take a floating left hand. Take it up to the left and reach it to the ceiling as you now rotate. If you didn't know whether you had tight IT bands or not, here it is on the left outside edge of thigh. This is a huge pose. Breathe. Keep lifting the right heel a little higher. Left fingertips spread and reach to ceiling. Turn your chest to the left. And then float the left hand down. Place your right foot back to the mat. Step back into plank. Take a breath. Lift up through the underside of your belly. Tuck your tailbone. As you exhale, knees lower. Chest lowers, come all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, low cobra, hands forward of shoulders. Scoop your front ribs through the arms, squeeze shoulder blades. As you exhale, lengthen the belly. Reset hands, down dog. Come to kneeling. Sit back on your heels. Do a round of kite hawk. Take your hands to the side of you, palms facing forward, thumbs up. As you inhale, roll the head of your shoulder up, rotate it behind you and dip your thumbs, lifting your chest. Exhale, it goes the other way. Thumbs dip. Press the twist of your arms behind you, but keep lifting the chest. Inhale, big breath, roll the shoulder. Feel the thumbs move behind, spread your wings. Exhale, shoulders lift, rotate the other way, turn thumbs underneath you, press them back. One more, inhale, reach up. Roll it out. Exhale, roll the way back down. And then place your hands back down. Let's do flash prep. Interim pose. Bring your left forearm down onto the mat. Make sure that your left elbow is stacked under shoulder, palms spread wide. Take the right hand behind you and place it in front of the right knee so that your elbow is pretty much, your right elbow is pretty much under your right hip. Take a full breath into mid-upper back, balloon out of it. Curl the toes, soften the jaw, straighten the legs. Flash prep. Make sure your weight is not just dumped into left forearm. Push through the right hand. Spread the fingers apart. Notice the grab of the mat. Get grounded through that. Stay here, or option to raise the left leg very slowly up to the ceiling, lifting through the toes and wrapping the left shoulder and the right shoulder in. Shake out the head slowly, don't overdo it. Just make sure it's not grabbing. Lift the rib cage away from the shoulder girdle. Exhaling, slowly lower the left leg down. Control it. Knees come to mat. Just pause halfway, come into kneeling, turn your palms up, right in the sort of top of your thigh area and look forwards. Take a breath into your chest area, your heart center. As you exhale, soften the shoulders. Let the neck go. do the other side. No, you can't wait. Right forearm down. Stack right elbow under shoulder. Left hand back towards the knee. Take an inhale, balloon into upper back. Curl toes, straighten the legs. Tighten it up, but feel for pulling the left elbow inwards. And put weight through the left hand. Really push through it, ground it. Inhale, option, right leg raises slowly, don't rush. If you rush, you'll get wobbly and it's hard to control the balance. Jaw, separate your teeth. Feel for the big toe on the right foot in space. Lift out of the shoulders, re-wrap. Exhale, scoop the belly, slowly lower right leg down. Come down, let's come back into child's pose. Remember, right at the beginning we did it. Toes touch, knees separate. Bottom right down by the heels, lengthen your arms forwards. Forehead on the mat. Ooh, how good does this feel? Take the breaths into the back ribs. How much more receptive are you to breathing widely through the back body? Can you feel that you are able to connect a little more with that? As well as really appreciating being in child's pose, because we've done a bit of work now. Amazing. Float yourself forwards. Step back into down dog. Take a full breath here. Let's do everything on the other side. That's what's coming up. Take an inhale. Right leg raises to ceiling. Beautiful. As you exhale, draw the right knee to chest. Scoop it out. Inhale, leg extends. Exhale, right knee to chest. Suck up through the belly area. Push into your hands. Inhale, leg extends. Exhale, knee to chest. Hover here, engaging core. Push the floor away. Last roll, inhale, leg lifts. This time as you bring it forward, it's for a high lunge. So step it between your hands. Give it some help if it needs it. Ball of back left foot, rise up. Inhale. Press the left heel away. Feel for this glute connection and lift out of the front rib cage. Wrap your shoulders. Notice when you get grippy with that breath. Jawline, shoulders. Feel for that connection to your legs more than ever. Float the left hand down to inner edge of right foot for twisting lunge. Reach the right arm to ceiling, let the head go. Notice this, if your front leg is relatively straight, if you want to work more, deepen the right knee bend, right? So then press your feet apart from each other. Inhale, length, roll the chest open, right hand behind the body. Let the head go. Feel for extending from left fingertips to right fingertips across the sternum. So you broaden yourself like a kite hawk sensation. So easy to dump weight down. Take the energy from the ground up, right? Take it back into yourself. Float the right hand down. Step back into plank. Take a breath. Scoop the belly up, tuck tailbone as you exhale, knees lower, chest lowers, modified chaturanga. Inhale, low cobra, scoop it out. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot to front of mat for warrior one. Front foot is straight, back foot 45 degrees, come up to standing. Hips are squared off, right knee bend deepens, press through outside edge of left foot. Take the opposite interlace of your hands, open your chest, breathe. How much length can you get between the belly button and the underside of your ribs? As you exhale, hinge forwards, long back. Slide your torso to the inner edge of your right thigh. Pause a moment, take another breath, lengthening. And then as you exhale, soften downwards. Drive energy through the back left leg. It's your anchor, remember, as you lift your hands to ceiling. Rinsing the shoulders out. Feel for a little squeeze between the shoulder blades. Neck is relaxed. Left quad, turn it on. More support around the knee area. Release the right hands down for lounge lunge. Lower the left knee to the mat and walk it maybe a little further away from you, top of shin to mat. Left hand shoots off the diagonal. Start to twist and lower your left hip, turning to face your right thigh, hug it in. Feel for a little hunch up of left shoulder. Maybe you put a micro bend in your left elbow. But mainly you feel like someone's grabbed your left foot and is pulling it away from the hip. Lengthen your breath into your side body. Left side of waist, ribs open up. Got to allow this pose to happen. It's the gift that keeps on giving, this pose, once you get it. Soften the neck. Press a little more through the right foot. Let the ribs drape downwards. Slowly press yourself out of this. Come back into a low lunge position. So maybe shortening your stance and being upright. Top of the left shin is active. Take an inhale. Left arm reaches, make a fist. Twist. Hook on. Let the head soften. Take a breath here. Push through the underside of your ribs as you reach the arm up and press it to the fist so you roll yourself open. Let the head go. The wobble. Maybe you need a wider stance. Maybe a little more pressed down. And in response, you feel the stability that is offered up. Slightly V-shape yourself away from your right thigh. Let the head, let the back of the head is a little heavy. How much softness can you bring into your right shoulder blade? Roll it behind you. Come out of this, unravel. Frame hands around the right foot. Come onto the ball of the left foot for a sweep up into standing splits. Raising the left big toe to ceiling, let the chest drape down the right thigh. Suddenly the right leg is all about activity. Push into it. Feel the right hamstring quad engage. Balance, play with it. Maybe a hand lifts, maybe two. Core, suck it to the back line. Keep breathing. Fingertips placed back on the mat. Lower your left leg to join your right foot. And you're in a deep forward fold. Readjust. Soften the knees a lot. Let the head hang. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Immediately swap and sway side to side. Oh, I tell you what, my butt is like burning. That's good. Release the hands and slowly come up to standing. Maybe tractioning the front of the thighs if you like that way of coming up. And just take stock a moment, standing on your 2 feet squarely. Tree pose, put weight into right foot. Pick your left foot up and super glue it to the inner line of your left thigh or shin. And press the two together, hands in prayer. Feel for externally rotating the left hip and noticing that the knee moves away from you. Find a drishti, a gaze point. Arms can extend and grow upwards if you feel you've got the balance nailed. Maybe it just never is nailed. That's okay. It's a bit of an elusive thing. Side out. It's not that important whether you balance or not, in the grand scheme of things. Beautifully come out of this. Lower the leg back to the floor. Separate your feet about hip distance. Chair pose, sink down low. Squeeze and engage your butt as you lift your arms. So feel the backs of the thighs turning on. Let's do twisting chair, hands to heart center in prayer. Twist to the right. Hook your left elbow on top of right thigh. Pause, let the head hang. Press prayer hands together, roll yourself open. Remember how you rolled open from your thigh in twisting lunge? Feel that. Option to butterfly open your arms, bracing and turning a little more. Let the head go. Feel a squeeze, particularly through the right buttock. Lift your chest. And then de-rotate. Straighten your legs a little bit and hang down. You're in forward fold again. Breathe. Take the block into your, I'm gonna have to get this right, left hand. Yes, this is gonna work. And place it just in front of the left foot. Put pressure through the right foot and rise up through the left leg. So you come into what feels like warrior three. Left hip and right hip level. Chest level to the floor. Left hand stacked under left shoulder. Flex the left foot, punch it away. Twisting half moon, float your right arm up. Rotate your chest to the right. Ooh. And say hello to your IT band on the right thigh. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Everything's literally turned on. Core, legs, quads, butt, chest, arms, not the neck. Slowly float the right hand down. Lower your left foot down. Take your feet a little wide on the mat and come into Malasana, Yogi squat. So sink your butt all the way down, press your elbows to the inner edge of your knees and lengthen your chest up. So you're sitting down. If your heels touch the floor, great. If they don't, who cares? Just feel the inner outer thighs open up and just let the legs, done a lot of work, just taking that last little bit of connection to the ground here. And then here are your options. Crow pose, let's have a go. Let's have a go, right? In fact, there's no options. We're all going to have a go. There's all the versions. Take a block, place it on the mat. So we spent all this time on our legs. Let's do something on the arms. Come and do a little squat on your block. This could be where you stay, right? But then you bring your hands down to the mat, spread the fingers wide. Look how active your hands are. Wrap your elbows in. Feel like you're chaturangering inwards. Stage one, lift your butt by straightening your legs a little bit and plug your your knees into the armpit area or the back of the triceps. The scary bit is the rock of the weight forwards. You've got to let the weight come forwards. Maybe that's the bit you're working on, just letting the weight come forwards. And then maybe you take one toe, two toes off the block, scoop the belly up, really active feet. Whatever's available this morning is what's available. Even if you're just squatting down, playing around with it, think how much good you're doing to your hips and that mobility around that area. That's all a bonus. And then come out of it. Just kneel up a moment. This is what I always feel like doing after crow. Take your hands and press the heel of your hand away. Roll all the fingers down. Thumb covers fingers. As you exhale, tip your knuckles away from you for a front of wrist stretch. Let the head soften. Don't hunch the shoulders, slide them down. Big breaths in and out. And then release the hands, shake them out. Final pose before Shavasana. Let's just do pigeon, plain vanilla pigeon, right? Draw your left knee forwards. If you have knee pain when you do pigeon, do the variation where you roll onto your left bottom cheek and have a very right-angled leg position, which you will drape yourself over. Otherwise, the heel is tucked a little closer to the crotch and your hips are level as you fold over your left shin thigh area. Take it in stages. What does it feel like? We're pretty warmed up. This pigeon should feel more available, but at the same time might be getting into the hip where it's already worked quite hard. What quality of breath can you bring to your upper back ribs? Think about that. Get your child's pose connection to the space between your shoulder blades as you breathe. Very slowly come out of this on this side, hands under shoulders. Curl the toes underneath you. Step gently, gently back into down dog. Be really nice to your left leg. Pedal out the feet and feel for lengthening the calf muscle on each side. Pause a moment, lift your tailbone, shake out the head. Sweep your right leg forward so that you come into pigeon on the other side. Choose the options that work for you. If your knee is uncomfortable, roll onto right buttock. Place the shin further forwards. Otherwise, you're just leveling the hips off and coming down, maybe through elbows to start with. Each side might feel a little different. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to anyone else you love a lot. God, imagine that level of kindness. Notice your breaths as you close your eyes. Bring them to the back, middle, upper ribs. This ballooning through the back of the heart center, which offers up connection. And also just this space which you're desperate for. Space to breathe, space to feel. It's easy to be in the space where you don't feel, right? That's the easy option. But it's not good in that space because you miss out on all the good bits as well. Slowly come out of pigeon. Step briefly into down dog and pedal out your feet, especially through the right leg. And then lower yourself down and come into your best version of Shavasana. I highly recommend Viparita Karani, legs up the wall, if that's something that is an option where you are. Because we did a lot of leg stuff and it's quite nice to drain them out. But what you get comfy and do you, right? If you've got a sofa nearby or a chair, that's also quite nice. You can sort of drape your backs of calves on the sofa as you sort of lie down. Soften yourself through the back body, but also notice as you lie with areas of you connected to the mat, what it feels like. The support that's offered up from the ground. If you have got your legs lifted, smooth your breath so that you feel like you let a whole load of weight just shift out. Compost it back into the ground. And come into Shavasana. Start to very slowly deepen your breaths. As you inhale, feel the press of your back ribs into the mat. Really notice that, the capacity to spread and expand through the back ribs. Arms extend above you. Feel for a little connection into your toes as you reach those away from you. And then slowly draw your knees towards your chest and hug them in. A little roll side to side. Keep breathing. Gently extend one arm, it doesn't matter which, and roll onto one side. And just pause, lying on your side. Steady your breaths. Keep your eyes shut. As you lie here, just do this. Take a breath in for the count of 5. Slow it down. And equally, as you exhale, count it out in your mind for 5 and feel its slowness. Do that again. Press your hands into the floor and let yourself come up to seated. Hands, take your hands. Place your hands somewhere on the ground in front of you. Take a really big inhale into your back body. Lengthen through the crown of the head. As you exhale, I want you to really feel what you can touch underneath your hands. Soften the chin. Let's keep breathing like this. Notice where your hands make that connection. Place your hands in the soil to feel grounded. Wade in water to feel emotionally healed. Fill your lungs with fresh air to feel mentally clear. And raise your face to the heat of the sun and connect to that power to feel your own immense power. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. Happy Friday.